Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is a very special one. This is the stuff I've been talking about for a little while now, and this on ACC is my very first league race. Yes, so I've entered a league racing Discord. I did a race with a guy called Luke. He's depressed squid in here, you'll see him in a minute in the plan. I did one race with him, I didn't even know who he was at the time, and yeah, I went into and he said, would you like to join this league? And I did. Here we go then. This is my first quali lap then. Got two 40-minute sprint races, took cops quite well into the fast and expected section, flat through the first there, slight lift and down to fourth for the right, and then down to third for the next left, and then on the power as urge you can. The final right hander. Now we're going down the hang straight under the little bridge up towards Stowe. Now you want to be braking just before the curb starts, so there we go, going in for quite a late apex, sort of trail braking in though to get the car stopped. Just kept it in track limits there, and we're 4 tenths up on our previous laps, so this is a good lap so far. Into this complex, hooking up the curb nicely, short shifting in second to avoid wheel spin, and into third, avoiding the big sausage curve there and using all the curb on the exit. Now we're coming down into Abbey, down the Lewis Hamilton straight, very fast corner there, you really do have to nail it and the car can step out on you. We get through that just fine, braking on the curb on the left, we go a little bit deep, that's okay, we can still get on the power nice and early and carry the momentum through the tightest corner on the track, I imagine, through along the left in first gear, and then powering down the Wellington straight up towards the Luffield complex. See, I was entered into league, it's called TNRL, so Thursday Night Race League. So we saw it on a Thursday night a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, it's my first taste of proper league racing, which I'm really excited about. Through the final corner now, we need to try and get a good exit. Getting on the power nice and early, using all the curb on exit, and we're almost a second up here on our previous time. And where's this going to put us? It's going to put us in P4. So yeah, pretty damn good lap there, 59.4, but that's only put us 4th, so you just show how good the field is. And then we didn't improve, and we end up dropping down to 6th. So yeah, we've got couple of people beating us there. You see there the guy I was talking about, depressed squid there, up in second in the Macca. The Macca is going to be very quick around here. I feel the Bentley is going to be a much better race car than it is a quality car. But yeah, JDM there, putting it on pole with a 58.4 mega lap there. As you can see, I'm a second off pretty much. But yeah, time for our first ever race. It's a 40-minute sprint with a mandatory pit stop for the tyres. Yeah, so we're going to see how we're going to do it. It's my first ever one, so I really have no expectations whatsoever. If I can finish it even, I'll be really happy. But if we even gain places, that'll be a miracle. Here we go, on the start then. Alongside a few McLarens, and there's a Lexus there of Marvelotto, and that is Stefano. And on the start here, took it nice and cautiously. Someone went straight to my right, so I had to hold it round the outside. We're going to almost get the run on John here. I'm just going to back out of it because I don't really want any first lap dramas. So into the second complex here, all sort of settling down. But yeah, we need to try and get into a rhythm quickly, because I know the pace of these guys is going to be incredibly quick. See, warming up our tyres down Hanger Straight. So they're very cold on the start, we can get a formation lap. Into Stowe then, following John in the Macca. You can see that car just hooks up, you can see his tyres are slightly warmer than mine. And you can see Lee Fitzy behind actually catching him in the other Bentley. So if we can beat him, that's good. We can see absolutely clobbering that sausage curve on the inside there. That is not ideal. I don't think we got any damage from it, hopefully. So yeah, that's all good. Just wasn't the ideal line. You see, I've already almost been dropped by John and Piaf in front of the RCR guys and the backers. The gap is now a second. And Lee Fitzy behind is sort of dropped off a little bit to me, so if we can gap him, that would be great to relieve the pressure from behind. You can see the gap opens up to about 0.7 on the second. So yeah, coming down the straight then, Wellington straight. Yeah, it's sort of already spread out. You can just see the pace of the guys up ahead. So we've got John, then Piaf, then Marmolata or Stefano as I know him, and then Nicholas JDM up in the lead in the old Mercedes. I was surprised he was losing the old Mercedes, but apparently he prefers it to the Evo, despite the Evo being a bit quicker, I believe. Yeah, very similar cars to drive. But yeah, settling in 6th, didn't lose any positions, didn't gain any positions. I was fairly happy with that start, didn't find it bad, but there's definitely room to make places, and you'll see after quite a few laps, 27 minutes to go left in this race, we actually do catch up to Piaf now. John has overtaken Piaf and is running away a little bit. Almost got a track cut there, but we're okay on the exit of Cops. You can see through Magnus Becker, but it's just able to carry a bit more speed. I think the McLaren might be using its tyres a bit more than us. We've got very good tyre wear and fuel usage. So I realised through this first race I took way too much fuel. So gonna have to cut back on that for the next race. But yeah, into Stowe here. Looking up by that apex nicely, almost touching the grass there, that would not be good. That just shows how close we're getting to the limit, even in the race, to try and catch up with people. Into this complex then. Definitely catching up with Piaf. We've dropped the people behind, apart from Diego, so you need to watch out for Diego in the Ferrari. He's probably similar-ish pace to me. Getting used to that Ferrari. Through the fast complex then, behind Piaf, and you can definitely see Piaf is struggling a little bit, and we're sort of sizing up a move here, see where we're quicker than him, where we're slower than him. He seems to get very good traction out that final, out that hairpin onto the Wellington straight, so the gap goes up to about a second, and a couple of minutes later do a 59.8. And we're going to try and reel in Piaf again. So our pace is pretty similar, which I was surprised about because the Bentley is not very good around Silverstone before, especially not compared to McLaren's with 2020 VOP. So yeah, you can see Lee Fitzy there has got a stop and go penalty. While we are going to go into the box, we're going to do a little undercut on those guys. Be very careful not to speed, and we don't speed, so that's good. Into the pit lane then, we're going to skip the pit stop because it's a 30-second pit stop. But we do hit our marks, not very well actually, we do overshoot it a little bit, but we do finally go up on the tracks. And then after a long 30 seconds, feels like forever, we get let out again.
Let's go, go, go. Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
And we come out, blue flag showing, we come out just behind Marmar, so that was pretty good. We're about 8 seconds back from Marmar, which is probably the same gap to it as when I stopped, so maybe a little bit less even. So yeah, that was a good pit stop. We're seeing if we can now over jump, overcut, undercut, whatever, Piaf and John on that, because if we can gain some free positions, that'd be perfect. You can see we're stuck behind Kaiser here. It's for position because he hasn't boxed, but he gets out of the way by spinning, so that helped us. But yeah, 16 minutes to go, and Piaf is going to come out of the pit lane in front of us here. And look at the overspeed we have up to Maggots and Beckett's. We're going to see if we can size up a move on the exit of this complex because it's very difficult. You can see taking lots of curb on the right, going a little bit wide, but we're setting up the exit for the final one. He's very slow, and we're going to try and slipstream him down the hanger straight here. But don't think the Bentley can quite keep up on the rear wing I'm running. We are gaining a little bit, but it would be a massive send.
Car on the right.
And we're going to try it. We're going to try it around the outside, but he sort of just understeers
Right.
out, almost into us, so I have to back out of that move. But it was worth a shot. It's very unlikely that I'm going to go around the outside of Stowe. We've got to put pressure on these people, otherwise they're just not going to make mistakes. Because it is a pretty difficult pack of guys to beat. So yeah, if we can gain any positions, that would be incredible. You can see there, Marvelotto Stefano is like 13 seconds up the road, so I don't think we'll be beating him today. We're going to wait for John to make his pit stop, and I reckon it will be John and Piaf I will be racing for this potentially 4th position, which would be incredible. 2 positions gained, you know, that's pretty damn good at my first league race. I would take 4th position any day. Someone told me, oh, you do first league race and gain 2 positions from 6 to get 4th. I would definitely take that. But we're going to have to earn it, that's for sure. We're going to have to work for it. We see Piaf struggling here on his cold tyres that he's come out on the pit lane. We've got a bit of rubber laid down on ours, so the car is just gripping slightly better. So he hasn't been able to run away just yet. Tour 1.1, he's done 2:59 because of the pit stop. Which just shows how much time you lose compared to a normal lap. So it's about 58 seconds, nearly a minute in the pit lane. Obviously everyone has to do it, but you do have to choose when to do it correctly, otherwise you can lose a lot of time. You can see here, through Magnus Beckett's, I noticed we had much more speed than him. But he just seemed to manage to get the exit this time down the hanger straight in Stowe. And there's nothing really I can do at this point. Just have to stick behind, follow him, find places where he's weak, and yeah, see what we can do. He goes a little bit wide through Stowe, but still manages to hit an apex of sorts. But with all the time behind me, just trying to set up an apex, set up a move, and you know, one that we can really get right to put him under pressure, make him think twice about his line to defend us potentially when he doesn't need to. You see we're 1.3 seconds up on our 2:01, so the time sort of resets, if you like, all the lap times after a pit stop, so it's going to be whatever you did after a pit stop. That if we see up into the hairpin and the loop, we are getting really, really close now. You can see Piaf is making a couple of mistakes, and we are going to have to try and capitalise him to make a move here. You can see he gets a little bit of oversteer on the exit of the loop, but we're still not quite close enough to go for a move down the Wellington straight. We are closer, 0.2 of a second, but I'm just going to stick him behind because I don't want to crash. I'll get penalty points from the crash. So yeah, there's a whole big stewards system, like in F1 if you like. So any incidents, depending on sort of the first lap incident, whether it's major or minor, is whether you get penalty points. So we're going to try and avoid those for our first race, but it's not going to be. It could happen. It could happen. You never know. And it could happen for other people as well. Here we go. Yeah, we're closer than we've ever been up into Magnus Beckett's complex behind Piaf. We're going to stick behind, see if we can take some more curve in this Bentley, which we definitely can compared to the McLaren. You can see he's definitely weak on exit. Here we go then, down the hanger straight, but unfortunately we've got a lap car giving him a little bit of slipstream. TNRL is getting out of the way there. Thankfully, doesn't hold any of us up. We're going to look for a move, and it's just not quite on at the minute. He hooks up the apex just fine, he takes the racing line, and there's nothing really I can do. I can't send out the inside from that, but the G3 cars have got to be pretty close to make a move. But yeah, just following Piaf now. 4th is probably our best chance now, because Luke, actually, who started from the pit lane, he had a problem with he didn't press drive in time, or something reset on his wheel when he actually started from the pit lane. So that's why we are in 5th, fighting for 4th position right now. So we've got Luke behind. He's probably unlikely to catch us. He's 20 seconds behind, so in 8 minutes that's almost impossible unless we do fight really hard. but I don't think we're actually losing as much lap time as we think, because my last was actually my best lap, so 59.6, which is pretty damn good. But yeah, to Stowe again, he's sort of almost cover it up, I kind of sort of fake him, but it doesn't really work. Go a little bit wide on Stowe, I just have to back off so I don't get a track cut, stop any of those. You can see we go a little bit deep into this complex, and we just can't quite capitalise the move, and he sort of extends out, which is unfortunate because we know he's actually a bit slow through Abbey here after the Lewis Hamilton straight. So we're going to have a go again into Maggotts Beckett. This is probably his weakest area of the track, just because I can take much more curve than him. And you can see he actually goes deep and runs a little bit wide and gets a massive oversteer moment on exit. This is definitely our biggest chance to get this move done with 2 minutes to go. I have to almost use a bit of grass to force the inside. 2 minutes to go, and we have just slid in front of Piaf for 4th position. What a result this would be if we can hold on. He's awfully close in the mirror behind us in Stowe, and you can see into this complex it's going to get even closer because the McLaren is better on the brakes. If I overshoot it slightly under the pressure and the excitement of getting 4th position with just a minute and a half to go. John is too far away now unless we absolutely put in some hot laps, but we are going to come home in our first ever leaguerace in 4th position.
Good job.
2 positions gained.
I'll bring the car back.
A lovely fight there with Piaf and the RCR guys. So yeah, I was really happy with that. Good points in the bag. I think it's about 15 points, 13 points, something like that. 20 points for a win. I'm not sure, I can't remember the exact point system. But yeah, 4th. Not bad. You can see JDM absolutely running away there. 14 seconds ahead of Mama at the end there. So he's definitely the one to beat at the minute. And we're going to go out for our second of 40-minute races. First, we've got a little 5-minute quali. So this quali is half the length of the first one. So it is literally probably 1 lap, maybe 2 if we're lucky. It's at the end, so I've done a 59.4, but this ends up being, I think, my best ever lap I've done on Silverstone on this game in the Bentley. So yeah, let's follow all on board with it. Through Maggotts Beckett then, we took it nicely through the pots. Lots of curb on the inside, there's some spinning, but we're not going to get distracted by him. Through the right, getting on the power very early, and look at all the curb we use. We actually get a tiny snap on exit, but we don't seem to lose much time at all. All down the hanger straight. It's got Lee Fitzy in front, so if we're closing on him in front, we know this is going to be a good lap. Into Stowe then. Nice, hit the apex, just grazing the curve there. Not going to invalidate our lap on the exit, which I've done a couple of times in quali, which has been very frustrating when I've been a chunk of time up. You can see using even more curve there than before, and I actually gained quite a lot of time from that, so maybe should have done that earlier, but yeah, that was good. Through the fast right, look at the curve taken and the commitment. Almost could have done it in 5th gear when we were that fast. Into the loop section, we've definitely gained on Lee Fitzy and the guys in front by about 3-4 tenths, so we're definitely gaining, which is ironically how much we're up by the delta. So this is looking on for a 59.1 or even a 58 if we really hook it up. Down the Wellington straight then, under the bridge, into the Luffield complex, braking just before the little marker there to turn in. Late apex, car running out to the curb on exit. Going to wait and be hesitant on the power because we don't want to oversteer on exit. And we get on the power nice and early again, using all that green fake sort of grass on exit. And 5 tenths up, and we're going to do a 58.9, and it puts us in P4, so 2 positions better than last time. An absolutely stellar lap by Luke there, 57.9. So again, we're about a second off the Maccas. But that was an absolutely incredible lap. You can see he's actually 5 tenths quicker than the next guy. So probably one of the best laps I've seen around here.
Stay clear of the curbs.
Super job by him. So yeah, he's going to hopefully keep it clean and maybe even run away with us in this race. But we'll have to wait and see. again, I'm ready for the start this time. I thought there was a formation lap before, but I know there isn't now. I'm getting right up close to Marma, who's looking quite slow. He needs to sort of hurry up here, otherwise we're going to be dropped. And there he goes, he gets there. And green light goes. I get a pretty poor getaway. Diego gets on my right hand side immediately, but we managed to hold it right around the outside. He almost gets me done, thinks he can sweep over, but I'm still there. I'm going to force my car into that gap, and he's just going to have to back out into this section. I leave him the room in case he was going to stay there. And there's actually a crash in front between Luke and JDM and Nicholas, and that is going to absolutely cost Luke. I think Luke just completely got it wrong and had to find somewhere to bail out of the corner without hitting anyone, and he almost did. But this is my best chance to go for a move on Nicholas. Sort of put our nose up inside at Stowe. Not going to quite do it. I'm on the outside. He ends up getting a better exit out Stowe. And I just have to stick behind. That's probably my one opportunity to overtake that guy. But now you're just going to watch him run away into the distance. Bye-bye. Farewell. Now we're just going to have to defend from the guys behind, because at this stage with this car, LatinAutor and JDM are much quicker than me. They are on another level. So shame for Luke there at the start. Otherwise he probably could have capitalised on these guys with the pace he had in quali in the Macca. But yeah, we're going to try and keep John, Diego, Yuri and everyone else behind us, and try and keep this position. You can see I'm actually in second place as LatinAutor goes for a pit stop at the 21-minute mark. So we are in provisional second place, 4 seconds behind JDM. Now I was actually quite happy with that. He didn't drop me as much as I thought he would. I honestly thought he'd be 10-15 seconds up the road, but I think he was fighting quite a bit with Marma, so that definitely helped me out. He's only 4 seconds up the road. The gap goes up a little bit because he was doing 58 race pace, which is just mental. He's ridiculously quick. He's for here in ACC. Yeah, but got a lot of time to learn. So we've got John behind us, 0.6 of a second, and then Luke is a little ways back from that, recovering from that first lap incident. So if we can just keep our second place, that would be perfecto. That would be great. Second place, my second ever Olympics. I'd be well buzzing with that. Yeah, so let's see if we can try and keep this second place. Keep John behind in the pit stops. We need to try and hit those jacks better this time. You can see John is actually gaining quite a bit. I'm struggling through these low speed corners a little bit. Maybe should be using the torque of the Bentley to get me out of the corner quicker. I do think that the Macca through the high speeds is just much quicker. It is very, very, very quick on the straight. Almost unstoppable. But yeah, you can see Mercedes in quick hands is very quick. You can see JGM is now 5 seconds up the road by the end of this lap, and he does 58 or something. But we're going to box and not get out of John's way, but I feel like these tyres are sort of going off anyway. I had a bit of grading on the front left, so I thought, right, let's head in, try and get a little undercut again, because the undercut worked fairly well. And you can see we sort of missed our jacks again. We're trying to aim for sort of the second arrow on from the top, and it doesn't really work. But 30-second pit stop's over, change tyres, and we'll see where we come out on exit. So at the minute we're 4th place, and we're going to lose a position. No, we're going to stay 4th place. No, 5th place, sorry, and Marma overtakes us. But I was really happy with that, because I was not 1.2 seconds behind Marma before the pit stop. I was about 4 seconds because he was following JDM, so I'm really happy with this. And you're going to see now that LatinAutor is actually very slow in this stint, and he actually took old tyres. I wish it was a genuine pace advantage, but I'm afraid it isn't. But you can see how close we're getting here with 40 minutes to go. at cops, I'm flashing the lights like, come on man, why are you so slow? Because I didn't obviously know at this point that he was on old tyres. So I thought, wow, we're losing rather a lot of time to the guys in front, including Luke, including JDM. So I'm going to try and size up a move here as much as I can. That Lexus is an absolute beast on the straights though, an absolute beast. So really, if I'm going to go for a move, it's going to have to be ascend, where he doesn't like it or where he will make a mistake. So you can see on the exit stow there, he's not very quick, so that's definitely a weakness on those old tyres. I found through mainly the high-speed corners on those old tyres, he was properly slow. So yeah, through here you can see he's understeering quite badly. I'm understeering in the dirty air of this car. So just looking at the move, but not really have an intention of going for it. We can see the speed I've got coming into here. He actually defends to the inside. We're going to go for the outside. Can we hang it around the outside? No is the answer. We're going to try and get this twitch back and go wide and then cut back. Just can't quite get it into the loop, but we do have a good exit down the Wellington straight to size up a move here. We're going to go to the inside. It's bold. He's going to force us all the way to the grass pretty much, and he's not going to back out to the last second, but all we're going to do is send it right up the inside. We're having absolutely none of that, and up the inside into Luffield we go on Marmara. So lovely little move there. I was really happy with that, because that was pretty touring cars-esque, you know, forcing that person right to the inside before finally backing out. That was almost super GT-esque. But yeah, good defending, good attacking there. So yeah, and now we have John coming out of pit lane. We are 1 second behind now. So what can we do? I think the only person to have not stopped is PF. So he's up the road a little bit. You can see how much quicker just through Magnus Beckett's we are. Look at the speed gain we have, and I mean it was just a bit clumsy. I was sort of up the inside, I thought. I sort of closed the door. But yeah, so that was very unfortunate that I had a massive overspeed. So yeah, it's just a bit annoying there. But unfortunately, the most annoying part is Marmolotto, after all that hard work and that beautiful move, actually gets past us. So and past John. So yeah, but that incident after the race ended up being a racing incident, because it was thought both drivers could have done a bit more to avoid it. I think it was John should have left a bit more racing room on exit, and I maybe should have lifted. But you know, I saw him slow out of Magnus and Beckett, so I thought this is probably a very good opportunity to get ahead of him now, so I don't have to fight past him later. But we are now going to have to do that, as he has been held up by Marmara on those old tyres. You can see also in the mirror now that lovely golf liveried McLaren of Luke behind, who from all this fighting has gained a massive amount of time, lots and lots of time, and we're going to try and get second place back, because that is where we should be. We were there before the pit stop, and we're going to try and get that back. And Marmara is definitely somewhere we can get that second place from. John, however, could be a little bit more difficult. We can see he's actually pretty slow off here. There's a lot of rubber banding. I mean, look at this. This is just so unpredictable. It's just
car on the left.
Don't miss my braking zone, but I sort of understeer on Apex and I sort of push John through the corner a bit. He saves it nicely, but that ended up getting me a penalty point, unfortunately. Only one, bit of a push to pass. That was more very touring car-esque. That was very BTCC, but I obviously didn't mean to do that. The rubber banding was so distracting. I had no idea really where he was the whole time down that straight. You see pressure from Luke relieved as I was catching up with Marmara. This is the fight now for second place, and you can see how much slower through Magnus Beckett's he is. I mean, that is just a mad speed difference through there, comparing new tyres to old tyres. You can see we're in the slipstream. This is going to be a pretty big send if we're going to go for the move, and we're just going to slot him behind, are we? Yes, we're just going to slot him behind, because going for a move there would have been very risky and probably would have caused another incident. we can see he sort of defends it into this complex, and it sort of caused a chain reaction. John goes into Luke because Luke tries to avoid me while I was trying to avoid Marma, who is slow on the apex, and I end up avoiding the contact, but John on the other hand hitting Luke, and Luke unfortunately losing out there. But yeah, this is going to be the fight for second. This is where it all comes down. We're going to the outside at the loop. It's not quite going to happen. On the outside here, we're going to try and follow Marma, and this is going to be a good opportunity down the Wellington straight then. Trying to look, he sees I'm quick. He's defended to the inside. It's going to be very difficult for me to go around the outside here, and in fact it's almost going to be impossible. So yeah, we're going to have to wait for another opportunity. You can see we're setting up the move for Cops after this corner, and you can see our exit is so much better. That is what we need to do, down into Cops. Here we go. Will he defend it? He defends it slightly. We have to go to the outside, and then he shuts the door at the last minute. I'm on the brake. Luckily my reactions helped me there, but he's wide at Cops. This is going to be a big opportunity for us. On the outside then, into the Maggots Becketts. We can't go there. Using lots of curbs, setting up the move down the hanger straight into the final complex of Maggots Becketts. Look at the exit we have. He's definitely under pressure. He's took a bit too much curb on the exit there in the slipstream. Are we going to go for the big send? You bet we are. Here we go, up the inside, late on the brakes, holding it on the inside, and we are through on Stefano into second place. So incredible stuff there. Absolutely incredible. Brilliant battle there. He kept it fair. He left me racing room once I was up the inside. I managed to hold the car and not understeer out into him. No contact, and we are through into second place, and that is where we would finish, everyone. So I really hope you have enjoyed that video. Make sure you like and subscribe, because that is a second place in my second ever league race, and I'm telling you, I'm so happy with that. That's a chunk full of points. Congrats to JDM who won them both, but we are going to take second place here. So brilliant stuff there. Second place in our second ever league race. Very happy with that. That put us P2 in the championship. But yeah, that is it from me, guys. I hope you have enjoyed that. If you did, like, subscribe. But that is it from me. Have a great rest of your day, and well, I'll see you all next time.